Hi, this is Patricia Stepler, and you are at your Inside Power, part of the Win-Win Enterprise. This is just a small fraction of all the things that Win-Win Women do. And this is just one of our shows. And in this show, we are talking about our inside powers and how you can change your life by utilizing these inside powers. So today's episode is called Life is a Mind Game. And life truly is a mind game because our reality is what we create. Have you ever heard that before? Now, if you've never heard that concept that you create your own reality, then this might be a little difficult for you to understand, but I want you to stay with me today as we go through this information. So, success or failure is a mind game. And is there a sound reason for any of the views that you hold? This is one of the things we have to look at. Where did you get the ideas that you have? For a long time in my life, I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought all my immediate, extended family, all were smarter than I was. And that I was kind of the one that let everybody else down. Now, where did I get the concept? I don't know. Some of it was probably my own thinking. My brother was very brilliant, and I always felt like my cousins were a lot smarter than I was. And so it was probably my own self-image. And why did that happen? I don't know. Do I think that today? No, not at all. I know I can do anything I want to do. I know that I am capable as anybody else. We just have different interests. That doesn't make them smarter than I am. It just means we're different. And that's okay. But I was probably into my 20s, probably close to 30, before I took my first personality test. And it was so obvious to me once I took that there was nothing wrong with me. I was just different than a lot of the people I was friends with or that I worked with. Okay, so the next question is, do you have the power to control your life? Or are you a victim? You see, we have a lot of that victim mentality out here. We tend to blame other people. And when we do that, when we blame others, then we're not taking responsibility for ourselves. And you see, I believe that we're in control of everything we do. If we believe that we create our own reality, then that means we're in control. And so if something bad happens to us, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And when something great happens to us, we have nobody to congratulate but ourselves because we are in control. So do we submit to circumstances, or do we realize that we have the power within us to defeat those circumstances? So the other day I was talking to my accountability partner, and I was talking about something that I had done that was like, well, I'll just tell you what it was. So I meant to send this email to 2 people, and instead I sent it out to everybody on my list. And I was like, oh my gosh. And, I wanted to stop it, but I couldn't stop it once it started going. And I thought that email was only supposed to go to these 2 people. And instead it was going out to 1,000. And not that there was anything harmful in that email, but it was just like, that wasn't supposed to happen. It was one of those oops ones, sometimes you get. And so anyway, I was telling my accountability partner that I had to just walk away from my computer when it was happening because I was helpless to stop it. Had I caused that to happen? Yes. So when I looked at it, I thought, what did I do that caused it to go from sending to 2 people to sending to 1,000? Was because I was hurrying and I apparently did not click the right button. And I was not careful, and therefore it went out to everybody. So I caused it, but I had to walk away from my computer. Now, when I walked away from the computer, I thought, okay, now how do I fix this situation? Like I said, it wasn't a terrible email I sent. It was just wasn't supposed to get to everybody. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to send this as an oops, I made a mistake. And what it really was these two people had just recently purchased a program I was offering. And so I thought, oh, so now it went out to 1,000, acting like everybody had purchased it. And so now I was just going to offer to those 1,000 people. So I changed that negative situation, which I had caused, into something that would be okay. So are you in control? See, when you know you're in control of a situation, you are, you can spiral up. But when you feel that you're not in control, that's when you spiral down. So why does this happen? Well, sometimes it's hereditary. When we feel like we're not good enough, or we feel like things aren't going well, it's environmental. We've been programmed. You see, when we're born, now keep in mind, we are an intellectual person in a body, and we have a spirit. Okay. Spirit is the highest level. Physical body is the lowest. Intellect's in the middle. So simultaneously, we have these three going on. We have a spirit, we have an intellect, and we have a physical body. Our spirit came to us. It was perfect. But quickly after we were born, our spirit became conditioned. And the people around us, as they loved us, conditioned us. Now, some of that conditioning is perfectly great, but other parts of that conditioning maybe don't serve us very well. And so we went from this perfect spiritual DNA to an imperfect spiritual DNA. Now, keep in mind, the world is full of wonderful possibilities. There's so much out there that we can do. And it's a wonderful world around us. And we can, through our minds, obtain anything we truly want to have, to be, or to do. We have that ability. It's all in the mind. You see, even when you're in the most adverse situation, you can control your mind. You have been given that power. So as you develop the awareness that you are in control, that's when you can start to move forward in your life, because you're in control. So here's a quote by Raymond Hollowell. It says, if all conditions are the result of our actions, and all of our actions are the outcome or the fruit of our ideas, then our ideas must determine the conditions in our daily lives. Now let's break that apart. If all conditions are a result of our actions, see, our actions are controlled by our subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. You have to embed an idea into the subconscious mind in order to do the action. So for instance, we all know things that we don't do. You have two people working in an office and they've both been trained the same way and they know what to do. That doesn't mean they're going to do it. I dare say that I think, the vast majority of people, 95% of the people, know exactly what they should eat to maintain a healthy weight and to have a healthy body. That doesn't mean they're going to do it. You see, knowing is not enough. You have to have it embedded in your subconscious and do the actions. So that's why we have this thing called the knowing doing gap. We know what to do, but we don't do it. And we don't know why we don't do it, which just causes enormous frustration. But that's what he's talking about here. If all conditions are the result of our actions, and our actions are the outcome or the fruits of our ideas. So if we get an idea and we embed it in our subconscious mind, then we go into action. So we have this beautiful idea of what we want. We embed it. We nurture it. We've planted that seed in our mind. We've nurtured it. We've fertilized it. We watered it. We gave it plenty of sunlight. And that idea continues to grow and it's been embedded into the subconscious mind. And so then we have the actions that carry out our idea. Then all our ideas must determine the condition in our daily lives. So the actions that we do determine what happens. Does that make sense now? So if all conditions are the results of our actions, and all our actions are the outcome or the fruit of our ideas, then our ideas must determine the conditions in our daily lives. So let's look at the creative power. The creative power tells us that everything is invented twice. So you look at an artist, they have an idea for a painting, and that idea is first in their mind. And then they take a paintbrush and they start painting it. You don't just go to their art and just start moving a paintbrush without a plan. They have a picture in their mind first. Anybody who's invented something new, they first got an idea. Like Thomas Edison, when he invented the light bulb, it took him over 10,000 tries to get it right. But he had this idea of what he wanted, right? And he just kept trying different things until he finally got the idea of what would work. But the idea was first in his mind. And it just took him 10,000 tries to get it right. So it was invented in his mind as an idea and then a reality. So that's the same thing for anything that you want to do, be, or have. You first get that idea in your mind, you nurture it. And once it's nurtured enough, you figure out a way to do it. You see, this is what stops a lot of people. They say, well, I want to do, let's start a business. I want to start a business, but I don't know how. You don't need to know the how. You just need to know what you want to do. And as you plant that idea and you nurture that idea, the how will come to you. The resources, the people you need will come to you. And it has to happen. Why? Because the law works for everybody the same way. Have you ever seen two people jump off a building and one goes up and one goes down? No, they're both going to come down because of gravity. And that's the way universal laws work. They work for the same way for everybody. But how you program your ideas and how you nurture ideas, that's different, because that's up to you. But the laws work the same way. You might say, but sometimes I don't want bad things to happen, and they do. So why does that happen? Well, because believe it or not, you've thought it. And sometimes that's a really tough concept to realize. But let's look at an easy example. Take your bank account. Let's say you never have any money at the end of the month. And so you're always thinking about the empty bank account, or you're thinking about that last bill that's going to come in and you won't have money to cover it. And that's your predominant thought pattern. Well, that's why you continue to have that same situation going on month after month after month, because that's your predominant thought. You see, the universe doesn't know, I don't want that situation. It only hears, doesn't hear the negative. It just hears what it's told. My bank account's empty. It doesn't realize you don't want an empty bank account. It just gives you what you asked for. So stop it. Stop asking for what you don't want. Start asking for what you do want. Start saying that your bank account is abundant and overflowing, and you have plenty of money at the end of the month. Change your thoughts, change the pictures you're building, change the words you're saying. See, every idea you have forms a mental picture, and the universe connects with those mental pictures that we have, and it produces whatever it is you're picturing. So stop picturing the empty bank account. Stop picturing the job you don't like. Start picturing what you do want. You want a new job? Start seeing yourself in a new job. I did that once. I was wanting to change careers. I knew I could retire from one career and go into another one. And so as I kept going into my current career, I kept seeing myself in the career I wanted. And that was the mental picture I was building every single day. And within 6 months, I was offered that new career. See, it's a matter of building the picture. The law doesn't question or challenge the picture at all. It doesn't question, do you really want an empty bank account? Are you sure that's what you want? It doesn't question it. It gives you what you're picturing. It just obliges. That's what it does. It takes what you give it, the picture you give it, and it produces it. So build a picture that you can't do something, and guess what? You can't do it. Build a picture of what you want and nurture that picture. You see, today, the results you have today are a reflection of everything that's happened in your life up to now. And the results that you have today are from those thoughts. So you want different results, think different thoughts. Everything you have today, you have attracted to you. Every person in your life, you have attracted to you. Now, some people say, why didn't I attract my parents? Some people say you do. There is some information out there, and some of the books that I've read, that spirit can actually come into you. Hello, would you like to ask a question?